Hey, I'm Tashaka Armstrong, and thank you for joining us for another Tech for the Rest of Us. Today, we're taking a look at Piper's NV. Now, we looked at the original classic Piper home gateway, and we did an extensive review on that. I think that thing went for almost 20 minutes because there was quite a lot to talk about. So we're not going to kind of go that in depth this time because it has not updated a lot of the features. It's given you now night vision, a larger CMOS sensor, so you're going to get 3 megapixel images out of the NV. You're also going to get 1.67 megapixel streaming, so you're going to get great quality when you capture videos if somebody should attempt to break into your home or somebody does actually break into your home. You're going to have some great evidence to be able to give to authorities if that does happen. You're also going to get new if this then that integration with Piper's updated software interface. So I'm going to show you those things. I'm actually going to show you Life 360, which you can connect to this. I'm going to show you if then that, the Ifttt integration, which is a huge boon for people who are using home automation, light kits, electric switches, different things of that nature. And it's all very well integrated and easy to use. Let's check it out. So this is Piper's night vision version of the Piper Gateway. As I showed you previously, this is not very much different from the original, but what they did do is update the app. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they've done with that. When you first log into the app, again, if you look at the previous review you did, you'll see that they've revised, they've actually simplified what actually you're going to see when you first get to the app. So you'll see right here you have your different armed or alarmed states of the app. I have it unplugged right now, so you're not going to see it connected. As you see, it says right there, not connected to Piper. But this is from the last alarmed shot or the last armed state, you'll see a thumbnail image that was last captured. You see it's a very good quality. I can actually see whether my front door is locked or unlocked from the image right there. You also get a weather update at the bottom right-hand side of the screen. And then simplified the interface from the top. So you essentially have 3 tabs now. The first tab, which shows you the state of the alarm itself. You have the second tab, which are the flags, where the alarm has been armed or has been alarmed, the alarm has been set off, and then the settings. So when you go into the second tab, you'll see that you can see what has happened, kind of status updates with the alarm, and the ability to download or to watch videos that were taken when the alarm was in an armed state. You see there's the dog sleeping on the couch there, and you'll see him actually get up. So the alarm was armed at that point, and it recorded a video. You can zoom in on the video if you want to get a closer look at things. It is really high quality, very good looking video. Just like with the previous version of the Piper Home Gateway, definitely very high quality, definitely a good product. So you'll get your timeline of events that have happened. You'll have video clips here, so that's kind of a simplified version of the timeline, only showing you the video clips. And then you go over to the third tab, and this is where you can see the vitals of the home. You're not going to see that right now, again, because we're not connected to the network. So you're going to have kind of an old status update there showing the vitals of the home. You can see it hasn't been connected here for a couple days. And then we go over to the third tab here, and that shows you the different modes. It lets you get into the settings. So you can see right here, armed away mode. You can control what settings you can see in armed away mode. You can do the same armed stay mode, and then your notifications. You can also go into the settings here, which again, you won't see because we aren't connected, but very similar to the previous iteration of the Piper Home Gateway, the original. When you go into the settings, similar, again, very similar to the original version. You'll have all your various things that you can set up, accessories that you can pair using Z-Wave technology, any products that operate on the Z-Wave radio frequency. And the big thing that I really like this go-around that I utilized was Life 360. So Life 360 is an application which allows you to monitor to keep track of your family members via GPS, via their phones. So the way that Piper has integrated with Life 360 is so that you can set it so that it'll alert you and allow you to arm or disarm the alarm based on who's home. So when everybody leaves the house, Life 360 interfaces with the Piper system and can see that no one's home, and it'll send you an alert to your phone asking you if you'd like to arm Piper at that time. You can also set it up so that it does a number of things just in the Life 360 app itself. But again, the Piper integration is very, very robust. And again, it's just another element to add to the automation of these home automation systems. Now, the other thing I really want to get into for this review, looking over at what Piper has updated and integrated, is the Ifttt, or the if this then that functionality that you now have in Piper. This is Ifttt. This is the if then that app, and it does exactly what it sounds like. You can program different automations in this app, and it's very simple to put them together. They're called recipes, and it essentially is, if this happens, then do that, like the app says. So with the Piper Gateway integration, you can make it do things like, right now I have it set to every day at 3:30 a.m., change Piper security mode to stay. So if the clock hits 3:30 a.m., which I hope it will do every day, then it will arm Piper to stay mode. But I also have some other integrations. Again, if any apps you use are integrated with Ifttt, then you can integrate them with the Piper Gateway. So in this case, I use Life 360 to disarm Piper when someone's home. So if no one's home at my house and Piper's alarmed, once somebody, one of my family members who's using the Life 360 app, and they're all using it currently, once they enter the home, Life 360 will interface with Piper via the Ifttt app and tell Piper to disarm itself once that person walks to the home. Again, it's using geolocation to do this. I have it set at about a 500-foot geo fence around my home. So once my children get within 500 feet of the home, Piper disarms, which gives the system time to disarm, again, before they get in the house. So it's not like they get in the house and it sets off the alarm, then decides to disarm at some point. I've also used a few others in this. And again, it's really simple. You can search and add new recipes based on just going to the plus icon like I just did. And then it's a really simple interface. If you go click the plus, then you go look and find the app or service you're going to connect. In this case, let's look for Life 360 and see what else we can do there. So there it is. There's the Life 360 icon. So I'll go ahead and tap Life 360. And so choose a trigger. I'm going to choose you leave a specific place. Now, there are already people who've created recipes, and the great thing about Ifttt is if somebody's created a recipe, you can go ahead and use something that they've already created. You can use a recipe, and you'll see how popular it is based on the number of uses, the number of people who are using it. So to give you an idea of whether that recipe is going to work for you. So in this case, we'll go home. So which place? Home. When you leave a specific place, I'll click next up top here. And then the next thing we're going to do is if you leave, and you see it showed you what parameters I set with Life 360. So if what I set with Life 360, then go ahead and click the plus. And now I'm going to look for Piper. So let's see here. Oh, there's Piper's icon there. I click the icon, choose an action, and you see the only action that's offered in this particular instance is change security mode. So if, and I said if somebody leaves the house, change security mode. So I'm going to select the security mode. In this case, I'll say armed away. So I click next, and I've now created a recipe on if this, then that. That is really how simple it is to use. You can actually set it so you receive a notification every time the recipe runs. That may not be something you want to have happen because it may happen frequently and it'll be clogging up your email, and you don't really need that unless you have Gmail or you're an Outlook wizard, and you can go ahead and set a filter so that every time that email comes into your inbox, it will skip your inbox and go right into whichever folder or filter you set it for. So you click finish. and that recipe has now been added to your list of recipes, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner here. And if that recipe doesn't really work for you, if it annoys you, if it's disruptive, you can also easily, in the app, just turn that recipe off. Now, the great thing about Ifttt is you can see every time a specific recipe, again, was activated by the emails you'll get, by the notifications you'll get. You can see when recipes have run by the date here, by this timeline. So you can see that as well right here on this left side, which is great. And these are all your recipes. So every recipe you have, I have some Twitter recipes here. I have some other recipes that I use with Piper, which is also the great integration with this, is I have some recipes that run along with my Wink Home Hub that are connected to Piper. So for instance, when my son wakes up in the morning, he takes the dog for a walk. That's at about 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. So what I have happen is when he walks into the living room and sets off the Piper home alarm, the stay alarm, it automatically turns on the living room light. So it gives him some light, wakes up the dog, if the dog is asleep, which generally he isn't, but it'll turn on that living room light automatically for us in the morning during the winter time when it's still dark outside at that time, and give him some light. So that's all done right through an Ifttt recipe. If Piper detects activity in stay mode, then activate shortcut. The shortcut is on my Wink Hub, and that shortcut is turning on the living room lights. So you can activate lights using Ifttt, Piper, and whichever other services you're using. I've seen Samsung Smart Things in that list as well. Again, I use Wink. So whatever home automation you use, if it's connected to Ifttt, if it works with Ifttt, then you can connect it with Piper and really extend the functionality of the Piper home gateway. This works with a lot of different services, but in this case, again, we're just looking at Piper because that's the product we're updating our last review on. And this is pretty much everything. Again, any app, any service you're using that's connected with Ifttt, that works, that integrates with Ifttt, you can then get it to work with Piper Home Gateway, and it really is robust and very much extends the functionality of your home automation. And it sounds complicated, Ifttt, recipes, making these things work, but as I showed you when I made the one recipe, it really is quite simple. So give it a look if you have a Piper Home Gateway. If you're thinking about home automation, definitely it's something to check out. So that's everything that's new with the Piper NV, the Life 360 integration and the Ifttt integration. Both free, although 360 does offer a premium version, but you can't go wrong with the free versions. It's a great kit. Hey, if you have any questions that weren't answered, please leave them in the comments below and I'll get to them. Thank you for watching.